Over the last year on Alderman Kneeshaw Park, we've taken quite a lot of action actually for nature, thanks to our partnership with Yorkshire Wildlife. We did a City Nature Challenge, which was fantastic. The community came, we enticed them with lots of different activities, and they came along and helped to collect lots of data on what species, flora and fauna we've got currently on the park.
At the end of the weekend of collecting data and people taking photographs of things that they'd spotted in the undergrowth, Hull actually, first time being in that competition, was actually ranked 7th out of all of the areas in the UK, and some of the areas are far bigger than Hull. So that was pretty impressive. But what it also did is it made us realise that in terms of biodiversity here on the park, we've actually got quite a lot that people might be interested in and that they can see and find out about. Everybody that was here really enjoyed it, they really got something out of it, and certainly looking forward to next year and hope that we'll be one of the organisations that will be taking part next year as well.
It gave us a baseline to work on to be able to develop over the next couple of years on how we would expand the biodiversity on the park. So that was really great. That event also was a catalyst, along with the partnership with Yorkshire Wildlife, with bringing in other partners. So as part of the day where we did a site-wide bio blitz, we engaged with a local college, Bishop Burton College, the Deep, Child Dynamics, and the partnership with Child Dynamics has been fantastic because from the information that was gathered on the bio blitz day then led to them developing a nature trail all around the site using the information that had been gathered. So the children within Child Dynamics looked at what would they like to celebrate that we've got currently living on our park.
My name is Susie Rowe. I work for Child Dynamics, which is a youth and family charity based here in Hull. My role is lead nature ranger, so I focus on engaging young people aged 10 and upwards within nature-based activities, the environment, and just ways that they can contribute within the community to boost biodiversity. So working with Friends of Alderman, Kneeshaw and Team Wilder, so far we've been in discussions about how we can get the young people involved within the work here in the park. We have participated in the Earth Day event where groups of people across the city got together to raise awareness in the local community about the wildlife that lives here, and as a result of that we're also going to be helping produce a wildlife trail here, so designed by our young people, for young people and the local community to make use of, and it should be a really great, fun, engaging way for people to sort of connect with the wildlife here in the park.
It's important to get people involved in nature because a lot of people don't quite understand the resources that they've got on their doorstep, and until I started going out in nature I didn't know a lot about it, and now that's the kind of job I'm going into. So.
We've been working on Nature Trail for the past few weeks and months, and we've put together a set of different posts, and we've put information about different kinds of things, like one of them is about insects out in the wild, and one of them is about how nature can affect your mental health. So it's just to educate people on what nature can do and what's in nature and what's outside in wildlife, whilst also getting them out into nature. The project has impacted me because, as well as helping me see and learn more about the environment and nature and climate change, it's also helped me grow in confidence.
I definitely get outside more. I think it's really opened my eyes to the issues that the environment faces and ways that we can help them.
The council had 85,000 of levelling up money that they wanted to use to kind of renovate the park a bit, and Andy was actually quite pivotal in that because he was able to talk to the council people about what sort of things we were trying to do and how the renovations that they wanted to do could actually fit with what we wanted, and they were very keen to listen to the community and what the community wanted. So we've ended up with a scheme that they've put in place, which means that we're going to have a lot of wildflowers growing around, so there'll be good attractors for pollinators, things like that. And we've also put in some fruit trees, which basically means that later on, when they get to be big enough to be bearing fruit, that people can actually just go there and forage and take whatever they want from the fruit trees.
Towards the end of last year, we started talking about a community allotment and what we might do with that space. We engaged with Sustainable and they helped to build us some raised beds. We've got a variety of different things growing in there, which has been fantastic, but since then the park itself has developed and our local football club has blossomed into this huge organisation now. So it's now their community allotment. They tend to that because it's in the site of their changing rooms. So that's fantastic because it's kind of spreading the nature on the park to a wider community, which is always what the plan was. Also, it's been about what the community have wanted. And the other element of that is we've had some more raised beds put in, and we've now got a small gardening group that we meet every Monday morning. So today we've come together to build some raised beds in the hope that we'll be able to plant some vegetables or some flowers or whatever it is that the community decides. And the idea was that we engage the community in the whole process so that they felt that they had a sense of ownership. We're really putting ourselves out there now. We're really starting to reach out and demand for things to be changed and demand for things to be done in a different way, and are hopeful, very hopeful that we can start to see progress in the right direction.
We joined the Great British Litter Picking Clean-up. We actually had quite a number of other people that came along and joined us. And we went through and we picked up numerous bags of rubbish at a time when things that, you know, the plants were just beginning to emerge again, the birds were beginning to look for nesting materials and so on. So it was a really good opportunity at that precise moment to do a clean-up so that you could get all the rubbish that might cause injury or whatever, to get all that rubbish away from the area. And I think it was a very effective event that we organised, you know, getting people together and doing that. So right from the beginning of being involved with Yorkshire Wildlife Trust, one of the things that we were doing then was thinking about the whole of the park. It's 17 acres, so it's quite a large park. In order to think about what we might do to enhance biodiversity here, we had to really think about what could we do in different areas. And so we worked with the Team Wilder group and actually looked at all of the layout of the park and began to think about things that we might do in different areas. It's been really good working with Yorkshire Wildlife Trust and having the map and being able to refer to it, and knowing that when we talked with the council, because we'd already done some of that work of thinking about what we wanted, we were actually able to talk from an informed position. That sort of vision for the future, which we're now going to take out to consultation amongst the community in this area. I think it's really an important thing that we've managed to achieve over the last year.
One of the really positive outcomes that's been over the last 12 months, thanks to the work that we've done on the park with growing partnerships, is the council recognised that work, and the Friends of Kneeshaw were asked to work in partnership with them for some levelling up funding that would enhance the park. We were immediately keen to involve Yorkshire Wildlife in that conversation. We've got a large area in the centre of the park now that our main focus is on trying to develop natural biodiversity. We're going to be planting a huge bulb planting scheme that really is about bringing in more people into our story, really. The bulbs are really going to be used as a bit of an invitation to get people on board with, you know, conservation on your doorstep, so we can begin a conversation. Another recent partnership that we've kind of consolidated just recently is the Hull and East Riding Tarn Bank, which is a tarn sharing organisation. We're working together on a programme to reduce chronic loneliness. And we're going to be using gardening and outdoor activities to try and enable people who are suffering with chronic loneliness to feel connection and pride in place, not only with nature and outside, but also critically with the people and the local people who can support one another. So building community cohesion, but using gardening and outdoor activities as our tool, really. So that's a really exciting new partnership. I think being a partner with Team Wilder, the biggest change that's brought about has been making nature relevant to the neighbourhood. Future plans for the park up until the end of the year, community bulb planting days, which are going to be brilliant. The schools are going to be involved in bulb planting, that's going to be great. We've got a Halloween event where we're going to do some bat box building and bed box building. Andy's created a fantastic resource of tools that we can use in our gardening club. We have some small children who come along, so it's, you know, there's lots of resources there that we can use to again make nature relevant. So the biggest change has been about making nature really simple and accessible for the everyday person.